Hey guys, this is Swagstaff from Flint Hill Elementary School, and I teach fourth grade. Today we're going to do a reading lesson. Have you ever read the book The Cat in the Hat, or The Cat in the Hat Comes Back, or Hop on Pop, or Fox and Socks, One Fish, Two Fish? What do all those books have in common? Yes, they were written by the same author. Do you ever wonder, where did he get the idea for those books? What was his purpose in writing those books? They're great books. And we know that Dr. Seuss wrote those. But sometimes we have to have questions. Why did he write them? So we're going to watch a Brain Pop video today about Dr. Seuss. And I want you to listen carefully and find out, how did he get his name? And there are at least 3 reasons in that video that he wrote the books that he wrote. And I want you to be able to share the reasons that he wrote the books and why he wrote them after watching the video.
Moby jumps off a stump, and he falls with a thump. He got a small bump. That's why he looks mad. Sorry, Moby, I can't stop rhyming. I'm reading The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. I've read it 1,000 times, but it's still one of my favorites. Who was Dr. Seuss? Theodore Seuss Geisel was born in Springfield, Massachusetts in 1904. His grandparents had moved to the United States from Germany. When he was little, his mom chanted rhymes to help him fall asleep. When he was older, Theodore went to Dartmouth College. He wrote for a school magazine that had funny stories, jokes, and silly drawings. But he got in trouble at school and wasn't allowed to write for the magazine anymore. So he started using a pen name. A pen name is a made-up name used by an author in place of his or her own real name. Theodore used his middle name, which was Seuss. He added doctor later. Well, he wasn't really a doctor. He worked as a cartoonist. Nice cartoon, Moby. Dr. Seuss drew cartoons of government leaders and things that were happening in the world, like war. Cartoons can make people think about important problems by poking fun at them. He also drew advertisements for oil, cleaning supplies, lamps, and even bug spray. Then, Dr. Seuss was asked to write and illustrate books that would make kids excited about learning to read. What are Dr. Seuss's books like? Many of his books rhyme, and they help kids learn to read and have fun with words. Hop on Pop repeats words over and over again to help kids practice reading. The book One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish has a lot of rhyming words. The words look and sound the same, like hook, book, and cook. There's also a creature called Nook. Many of Dr. Seuss's books have imaginary creatures and use fun, made-up words. What did Dr. Seuss write about? Dr. Seuss wrote fiction, and his books are about imaginary characters or places. In The Cat in the Hat, a talking cat causes a lot of trouble and makes a big mess. The kids in the story have to clean up before their mom comes home. Many of Dr. Seuss's books share a lesson. In Green Eggs and Ham, the main character tries to get his friend to eat something that looks a little gross. He says, I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. But finally, his friend tries it and loves it. The story teaches that it's good to try new things. And Horton hears a who. An elephant protects a tiny planet and its tiny people from danger. Horton says, a person's a person, no matter how small. Right. The book teaches that it's important to respect each other. The Lorax is about special trees that are cut down to make clothes. The creatures that live there lose their homes and get sick because of the pollution. The book talks about a big problem that's happening in our world today. Dr. Seuss is one of my favorite authors. He wrote over 60 children's books. Have you read them all, Moby? Moby, you can't check them all out at once.
Okay, so we found out that Dr. Seuss is not really his name. He chose that name as a pen name after he got in trouble in school and could no longer write for the newspaper. Dr. Seuss wrote over 60 books, and I don't think it matters what age you are, you enjoy Dr. Seuss books. Why did he write his books? Think about it. I told you I think there were 3 reasons. One, he uses a lot of rhyming, that words that repeat, to help readers learn to read and feel comfortable with reading. He uses imaginary creatures. He uses his imagination, and that helps readers use their imagination. More importantly than either of those, though, I think, is that all of his books teach us a lesson, an important life lesson, things that we can apply to our lives. So that's why we should read his books. Have you ever read this book? This is one of my favorite Dr. Seuss books, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So this is what I want you to do. If you've never read the book, I want you to read it. If you have read it, I want you to reread it. Or you can go on YouTube probably and listen to the story somewhere. And then I want you to write a short summary of How the Grinch Stole Christmas and share it with a friend or with someone in your family. Also, another activity you can do with that is watch the movie. It is on YouTube. And then compare it with the book. Compare and contrast it. Use a Venn diagram. Tell how it is alike, how they are alike, or how they are different. Happy reading, guys, and Merry Christmas. See you next week.